I'm going live, and you are looking live at Sold Out Giants Stadium, where today the 15-0 New York Giants will be taking on the 0-15 Chicago Bears. Why are the Chicago Bears 0-15? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? Or anybody at all going to watch the replay of this, guys? From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. It means so much to me. You guys absolutely freaking rock. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes here. Anybody got anything? Obviously, while we're live, anybody got anything to say, put it in the chat box. I come back, I check up on it every now and then. So feel free to chat away if you want, all right? Now, I mean, the one nice thing about, the losing on Monday night, I mean, there ain't much good, very little good at all about it. But what you like to do is get that bad taste out of your mouth. And what better to get a bad taste out of your mouth than get another home game against a weak, kind of a weak opponent. The Bears are not the best. But also, Monday, so now you got one less day, all right? So here's Friday night, in 2 days from now, the Bear game will be over with. So the game came a little quicker. It's not like we're going from Sunday to Sunday. Or what's even worse, you lose a Thursday game, and then you got to go all the way, you got to like 10 days or so till you got to play again. So you're pissed off for 10 days, hoping for that next victory. So that's one nice thing, is that it was a Monday night game. It's over with. And it was Monday night, and now we're going to play the Bears at 1:00 in the afternoon. Okay. So hopefully we'll be getting some of that bad, the bad taste out of my mouth. Because I'm not saying we're going to the playoffs or, nothing like that. But first to have if you want to say a success record-wise, all right, and have maybe a shot at maybe making the playoffs. This is a huge game here. This is a huge, huge game. You don't want to get back, to the 14, 15 game of the season. Say, we're going to the 15th game of the season, so we played 14, and say we're 6-8. Just saying, you're like, damn, man, we only got 3 games left to go. We're 6-8. Man, if we can only beat the Chicago. Remember, we lost to them by 1 point. We missed 2 field goals. This happened, that. Remember, if we beat, we should be 7-7 right now. Then we'd only be like maybe 1 game out of the playoff. These are the type of games you don't want to look back at the end of the season and say, man, we had Chicago at home. Man, how did we lose to you? So it is what it is. But what do we got? We got some, unfortunately, we got 5 guys out, ruled out. All right. Leo the Lion, the man. Okay. And he's going to go into one of the reasons I got here. It's an article. I'm going to throw my concern, not my concerns, my reasons for optimism playing against the Bears, okay? But there's an article that has 3 reasons for concern playing the Bears. And one of them, okay, just happens to have a lot to do with Leo the Lion not being in there. Now, the Giants, okay, have they're out. The guys are out. Wan'Dale Robinson, his knee again. That's a first drive of the game. I think a 5-yard pass. Boom. He misses the next 3. Simply amazing. Absolutely amazing. Nick McLeod, he's got a hamstring. Kadarius Toney, he's got a hamstring. Leonard Williams, his knee, and Cordell Flott, calf. Yeah, he was. I think he had a boot on. He was a motorized scooter. I think he was riding around in or something like that. So he's going to need at least another week or so. But what we have, okay, which is good, all right. This article from Giants Wire points out on the plus side, thankfully, Cornerback Aaron Robinson will make his return to the field, and it couldn't come soon enough. You got that frickin' right. And it wasn't, because thankfully, well, you don't want nobody to lose their appendix. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like he had he sprained his knee or this, that, or, whatever. He broke a bone or something. No, he had the appendectomy, missed a couple of games. Okay. But now he'll be coming back. So now we're going to have, probably, just saying, because Cordell Flott won't be in there. All right. I mean, we got some guy, Fabian Moreau, right? He's played very well. Okay. We got Darnay Holmes, right? We got Aaron Robinson. Then, you got Adoree Jackson. All right. So hopefully, and then Dane Belton. Okay. Our safeties, hopefully our safeties, Julian Love, Mr. Duct Tape, Xavier McKinney, Dane Belton. Okay. So hopefully we should be okay, somewhat in the secondary. Okay, which is going to lead me into one of my points of optimism against the Bears this week. Okay, so that's huge. That's huge. We lost Leo the Lion. That's a hit. That's a huge hit. But we're getting Aaron Robinson back, so that's good. Very, very good. Okay, and also in the good news department, defensive lineman / edge rusher, however you want to put it, Jihad Ward will be available after missing practice earlier in the week. Okay, so all things considering, not too bad. Hopefully, Leo the Lion, who seems to be getting better, might be trending toward playing maybe next week. Okay, I have no idea with Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't even know if Kadarius Toney's ever going to play another snap in the NFL again. I have no idea. But Cordell Flott, hopefully another week or so. Maybe against the Packers. But Wan'Dale Robinson, hopefully. They got Nick McLeod too. Okay, those are the guys that are out. But I mean, hopefully, they'll be trending back soon. Hopefully soon. The Giants on the injury report have nobody who's doubtful, nobody is questionable. So that is awesome, 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 awesome. Because last week they had, I think Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari were questionable. They had a couple guys who were doubtful. So they just got 5 guys who are out. Okay, so the Bears, on the other hand, okay, they got out Dane Cruikshank. I hope I didn't butcher that. He has a hamstring. Jalen Johnson, another defensive back. Okay, he's got a quad. David Montgomery. Okay, yeah, probably the knee and an ankle. So that's huge. Okay, doubtful. Matt Adams, their linebacker, has a hamstring. Tight end Ryan Griffin is Achilles. Okay, then they got questionable, right? Velus Jones Jr., wide receiver with a hamstring. Defensive end Robert Quinn with an illness. Cairo Santos, remember him, right? The kicker. Questionable, his personal. So, all right, we'll see. And linebacker Sterling Weatherford with an ankle. Okay, so the Bears actually have more people not out. Okay, but they got more guys listed, which is the first time in I think about 35 years I've actually seen another team have more guys listed, questionable, doubtful, and out than the Giants do. Okay, so that's nice. But I mean, they have 3 guys who are out. We got 5. Okay, they have 2 guys who are doubtful, so they may not play. So, but so they're not totally healthy either. Okay, so that's definitely going to help the Giants without question here. Okay. Then we got here now reasons for concern. This is from Giants Wire. Okay, they got 3 reasons, and I'm going to bring in some optimism here. Okay, the New York Giants will host the Bears this Sunday in their 3rd straight home game. The Giants are coming off their first loss of the season, obviously against the Cowboys. The Bears, meanwhile, are coming off their 2nd win of the season after beating the Houston Texans in Week 3. Their 2nd win, and then they also beat the 49ers, too, in a rainstorm. It was raining. Oh, my God. While they're not expected to compete much this season, both the Giants and the Bears are currently sporting 2-1 records with hopes of a 3rd win this weekend. It's big for both of them. I mean, absolutely. I mean, because, if the Bears could be 3-1, sure, it's huge. Same thing with the Giants. Absolutely. All right, now, they got 3 reasons here, all right, for concern. for the Giants, right, in week 3. Okay. One is Robert Quinn. Okay. Now let me see here. Oops. Well, okay, Robert Quinn is questionable with an illness, but I highly doubt anybody, if they're ill, is not going to play. I mean, you'd have to be darn near dead not to play. I think if he's questionable, I think you can pencil him and play him. Last week, the Giants' offensive line was beaten down by the Cowboys. Yep. Beaten down by this Cowboys pass rush, which could pave the game plan for the Bears this week. Oh, yeah. The Bears are not a blitz-heavy team, but they may change in a hurry, right? Possibly. The Giants will need to keep a close eye on Robert Quinn. Yeah, he is very good. Let me tell you. Wow. This week, as he's coming off a career high, 18 and a half sacks last season. With just one, he only has 1 sack through 3 games so far this season. The Giants' struggling offensive line could be just what the doctor ordered to get the veteran Bear pass rusher going again. Yep. He could be just licking his chops. Oh, man, I got 2 or 3 sacks coming against the Giants. Oh, yeah, you got it. Daniel Jones did a great job eluding the Cowboys' pass rush last week, which kept the Giants in the game. But ultimately, it was too much to overcome. The Giants' offensive line will need to improve if they're going to protect Jones better. Yep. Concern number 2, all right, which they have here. The Bears' ground attack with Leo the Lion out. Yep, because you figure – what did the Cowboys, 176 yards, I believe it was? I mean, they just, ground and pound, baby, right? It wasn't pretty. It's very demoralizing when another team comes in and they just start running at will. Oh, yeah. And their backup quarterback drops back to pass, and he's standing back there for he wasn't holding on to the ball too long, but, I mean, there was no pressure on him. Wasn't getting hit, wasn't getting sacked, completing passes and all. Yeah, oh, yeah. Very demoralizing. But the Bears' ground attack. So far, the Giants have played 3 of the best running backs in the league. They have already played, and which is true. You're absolutely true. And the Cowboys have a 2-headed monster with Elliott and Pollard, right? We had Henry, McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott, and Pollard. I mean, 4 very. I mean, McCaffrey all around as far as receiving and running is up there in the top. Whatever, however you want to grade them, top 2, 3, 4, whatever. Henry, as far as just running the ball, being a man, being a beast, and all that stuff, you could obviously top 1, top 2, whatever, right? And then then you got Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard, 2 very good running backs, absolutely. Last weekend against the Cowboys backs, the result were a mixed bag. If you take away the big chunk plays, Big Blue actually did well against Ezekiel and Tony Pollard. But you got those huge plays in there, which obviously brought their average up. At the same time, the Cowboys' rushing attack was able to get plays when it mattered most, and they controlled the tempo of the game. This week, there isn't a big name that scares you. However, the Bears do run the ball a lot, with the 2nd most rushing attempts and rushing yards going into week 4. So, Giants have to get their work cut out for them, especially with Leo the Lion out there. When you got sexy Dexter and you got Leo in the middle there, that helps huge. And if you can set the edge, right? Because I've seen sometimes, the guys just running around the outside. I'm like, who the frick is setting the edge? What the hell is going on? Right? If you can set the edge, funnel them inside, and you got Leo the Lion there and sexy Dexter Lawrence, that's nice. I mean, that's good. Right? The Bears are also one of 6 teams in the NFL averaging over 5 yards per carry, 5.4 yards per carry. So basically, the average every 2 times they run the ball, they get a first down, about 11 yards. With the Giants likely missing Leo the Lion, they will have to be sure to game plan around the Chicago rushers. Yep. And concern number 3 they have here, okay, is the Giants depleted at wide receiver. Yep, you can see it. I mean, they depleted, and sometimes the guys that even got in there, I don't even know. I mean, Kenny Golladay, ball hits him right in the stomach or whatever, and just drops the ball. I mean, we know we can expect a lot of Richie James going into the game. Yep, he's been a very pleasant surprise. with the Giants down Sterling Shepard and likely Kadarius Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, it's like, the three guys, I mean, aren't playing. Simply amazing. Others will need to step up with the injuries just piling up at wide receiver. Oh, yeah. David Sills should also be featured heavily in the game plan if the first 3 weeks are any indication. However, after that, the Giants have Kenny Golladay and Darius Slayton. Right? They'll likely promote a receiver off the practice squad as well. The lack of snaps for Golladay and Slayton this season make it worrisome, considering they may need to step up in a hurry. Yep. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, it's obviously, without question, the Giants at wide receiver is huge. It's huge, which is going to lead me into also another article I'm about to bring up, which is going to make it even tougher for the Giants to get off and running. The one that I'm not concerned, my bad, is for optimism, okay? Going against the Bears. Okay, the Bears have, let me say, I believe it's 23. They completed, 23 passes in 3 games. I mean, that's not even, they're not even averaging 8. I mean, one of them was against the 49ers in that rainstorm and all and everything, okay? But they've completed, Justin Fields, 23 of 45, completed 51% of his passes. He has 2 touchdowns. He has 4 interceptions. His interception percentage is 8.9%. Wow. Yards per attempt is 6.6. It's just his quarterback rating. Well, there's a couple different quarterback ratings here. He's got a 23.2. The ESPN quarterback rating is a 23.2. Then there's another one, quarterback rating. Used by the NFL. His quarterback ratings are 50. All right, he's been sacked 10 times in 3 games. Okay, sack percent 18.2%. I mean, he's tried to pass 45 times and he's been sacked 10 times. I mean, wow. Well, I guess he's dropped back 55 times. I guess he's been sacked 10 times. So 18.2% sack. I mean. Whew. Now, also the same thing with the Bears. The Bears are at a decent defense, okay? But, I mean, they don't have an offensive juggernaut. I mean, they beat the 49ers the first game of the season. They scored 19 points. That was in the rain. So it's a little tough, But then against the Packers, they scored 10 points, okay? Against Houston, they scored 23 points, all right? So they're not, they don't got, points flying, right? So, I mean, let's see. I'm going to see here. Against the 49ers, let's see. Box score, okay. First week of the season. Now, this was in the pouring rain, all right. Let's see. Bears were 8 of 17. Whew. Completed 8 passes the first game. Then against the Packers, the second week of the season, they lost 27-10. Okay, well, the Packers are up 24-7 at halftime, and they coasted. But let's see. They completed 7 passes. They only had 38 plays all day. Well, let's see. They got sacked 3 times. Justin Fields dropped back to pass 14 times against the Packers. Got sacked 3 times, completed 7 out of 11 for 70 yards. At 70 yards passing against the Packers. Okay. And they ran the ball only 20. It wasn't like they ran the ball 58 times. They ran the ball 27 times. Right? So, then the next game against the Texans, I mean, they couldn't have completed too many passes here, like 8 or something. Or let's see. They ran the ball. Okay. Well, they ran the ball 40 times against the Texans for 281 yards. They got 7 yards a carry average. Very impressive. But Justin Fields went back, let me say, to pass 22 times, okay, against the Texans. He got sacked 5 times out of 22, right? So basically like 1 out of almost every 4.5 times. So 2 out of every 9 times he dropped back to pass, he got sacked, okay? So their offensive line isn't exactly pass protection isn't exactly the strong suit either, okay? But he completed 8 out of 17 for 106 yards and 2 interceptions. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. All right, as I said on the season, okay, he has 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. All right, so if you go on some optimism there, I mean, even if the Giants are struggling a little bit, okay, it's to score some points. All right, the Bears are, hopefully, aren't going to be lighting up the scoreboard this weekend either. You got to keep the one game under control, but hopefully we got Azeez and Kayvon in there. All right, hopefully that'll help out a little bit, but we gonna have to be careful, okay, with their with their running game. But I mean, don't get too crazy at all. As far their passing attack is weak, okay, weak. I got some optimism there, okay. All right, Ronnie Rivers. Oh, hello. What a mess. Yeah. He is not accurate at all. Who is that? Is that Justin Fields? Are you talking about, Ronnie? We are a good match. We're good. Yes. We're a good match. I'll tell you what, if we had Leo the Lion in there, Fields. Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. We can beat them hands down. Oh, yeah. I said if we had Leo the Lion in there, we'd really be able to do a decent job against their run game. And I'll tell you what, their passing attack is like, not good at all. They have 23 completions in 3 games. I mean, you got teams out there completing 23 passes a game. I mean, with Leo, we could tear it. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm saying if we had Leo the Lion, we had Kayvon in there, and we have Azeez, and he's they're giving up a lot of sacks as well, too. Absolutely. There we go. Yep, that is insane. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. Absolutely. I mean, because especially where our offensive line's been playing, you don't want to go in there thinking, oh, we got this. And Daniel Jones drops back and gets sacked 5-6 times, fumbles the ball 3 times. They pick 2 of them up, running back for touchdowns, so you got to keep things under control. But, we got a good shot at going 3-1. And I'll tell you what, you lost to the Cowboys, but I tell you, and I'm just saying if, after 4 games, if we're 3-1, sign me up for that. We still got a long way to go, but I think you would take any Giant fan, and if you walked up to him and said, you know what, after 4 games, we're going to be 3-1. I think every Giant fan would sign up for that. What do you think about Tay Crowder? Should he be benched for his poor? Yeah, I mean, I do player grades. I go to PFF, Pro Football Focus, and they get grades for all the players, every game and all that. Sometimes even like last year when he led the team in tackles last year. He had 131 tackles, right? And even when he was getting all those tackles, he's still, according to Pro Football Focus, okay? I don't watch the game over. I don't watch each play 13 times and break it down and all. I don't do that, okay? But I mean, even last year, okay, when he was getting all those tackles, he was still grading out very poorly. Very, very poorly. I mean, he was making tackles, but he was having some problems. I'm just kind of, I don't know who we're going to put in there. We got Micah McFadden, right? The one thing is that maybe we might start more with who we got. He has to follow through those tackles. Yeah. Yep. If we start maybe getting another safety inside the box, if we have like 2 defensive linemen, maybe 2 edge rushers, or maybe 3 defensive linemen, a couple of edge rushers, maybe, if we want to try to take a little of the pressure off maybe the inside linebackers because we're maybe not that strong there. We got maybe we can get Dane Belton or Julian Love or one of our safeties, walk them down into the box to help out in the box there, maybe against the run, or maybe blitz the quarter, Justin Fields. But yeah, that's one of the spots. I mean, that was one of the things that was a little bit of a bummer when we let Blake Martinez go, because he was a strong, he wasn't great in coverage, but as far as, tackling and all that and, clogging up the middle, he was very, very good. That was one of the things about the shame about letting him go because we're definitely kind of weak in the inside linebacker position. Yeah. I mean, the Giants either going to have to learn to live with it or meaning like maybe next year, maybe address it in the draft or maybe address it in free agency. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see. I agree. Can McKinney play box? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, bring somebody up into the box. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's what Wink, likes to do. And also, because what he wants to do is he wants the offense to walk up to the line of scrimmage and look around and go, who the hell is coming? Who the hell is staying? Who's blitzing? Who's dropping it? That's what Wink wants to do. So he'll bring, different guys into the box and all, and some guys drop out, some guys, come, some guys maybe, wait a second or so and then blitz. So definitely we have guys in the box, absolutely, without question. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, I like when they do that, when they get the guys in the box. Yeah, because as far as our inside linebackers, we are a little weak. I mean, we're not bad at the edge, especially we got Azeez, got Kayvon, and then we got Quincy Roche is on the practice squad, okay? But you got like Jihad Ward, you got Oshane Ximines, who's been doing very good. So as far as edge rushers, we're doing pretty good. It's that middle that we're a little weak on. Yeah, we're gonna have to address that sometime, without question. All right, then we got Mike Kafka. All right, well, let me go over this here too. We got, this too is a huge game. Right, we got to go across the pond, play the Packers next week. Okay, on the 9th. Okay, gonna be 9:30 in the morning, so that's gonna be a tough game, but it's gonna be a road game for both teams. Okay, then we got to come home again. We got to play against the Ravens. Now, it's not gonna be easy. Okay. Not going to be easy at all. That game, we definitely could use Leo Line in, okay? So that's going to be a tough one. But then after that, I mean, so even if we lose those two, we're still 3-3, okay? But then you look after that, as far as some optimism here. Giants got to play the Jaguars, okay? We're 2-1, doing pretty good. Then we got to play the Seahawks, okay? Then we got to bye, rest some guys up. Then we got to play the Texans. Then we got to play the Lions. Then we got to play the Cowboys again, okay? But I mean, we got, there's like 5 weeks there where we got 4, winnable games, quite winnable games. I'm not saying we're going to win them, but I said then we start at the end of the season. That's when we start playing the rest of the NFC East. Okay, but after we got to play the Packers and the Ravens, so that'll be 2 tough games. But then we got 4 games that are possibly winnable. So we'll have to wait and see. And then we got Mike Kafka here. Yeah. From Giants Wire, okay? The New York Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka knows his unit has to start faster. Yeah. We haven't scored a touchdown yet in the first half. I mean, holy crap. What do we got? Have we scored 9 points? Is that what we scored so far? 9? Or is it, let me see. Box score. 9 or 12? Yep. 9 or 12. Up. Nope. It moved on me. I'm sorry. But I mean, we didn't score any points at all, okay, in the first week of the season, in the first half, okay, against the Titans. No points. Then against Carolina, okay, we scored 6 points. Then here against the Cowboys, we scored 3 points. We scored 9 points in the first half. 3 games, we scored 9 points. Kicked 3 field goals. The Giants are averaging just 2 points in the first quarter through their first 3 games. Only the offensive challenge, New England Patriots and sloppy Arizona Cardinals are worse. I think we got to do a better job starting off the game. Yeah, you think so? Kafka told reporters on Thursday, the execution, preparation, all those things kind of tie in. That's what we're focusing on this week in practice. Asked what needed to be changed, Kafka intimated that things simply needed to gel over time. Now, I've heard some other guys too talking about quite possibly, with the new offensive system and all, that, you're going to have to give it a little bit of time. You might have to give it like maybe 5, 6, 7 weeks or so, and you'll start seeing things start gelling over time. So we're only, week 4. So, quite possibly you might have to wait maybe another week or two, maybe. Hopefully it'll start picking up a little bit, So hopefully we can get something going this week, but right. But I mean, it was kind of like almost the same thing as almost kind of like last year in the beginning. Now, I mean, last year we had a different offensive play caller, a different offensive play system, right? But I mean, like the first week of week 1 last year against the Broncos, we didn't score in the first quarter. We scored a touchdown in the second quarter. All right, so we scored 7 points in the first game, in the first half. Then we got against Washington, we scored 10 points. Okay. And once again, a lot of our damage, if anything, came in the second half. All right. Then against the Falcons, we scored 2 field goals. We scored 6 points. Okay. And then against in the fourth game, the Saints, we scored 7 points. Okay. So we didn't score much at all last year in the first 4 games. I was just going over. Okay. In the first half last year. I mean, we just didn't score points, period. Pretty much. All right. Cowboys game 5, we scored 10 points, but that was in the second quarter. Scored 10 points. All right. So we just don't score. I mean, that's one of the huge problems we have, is obviously scoring point. I mean, obviously it's going back last year, obviously we had problems as well too, scoring points, period. This year, kind of the same thing. Problem scoring points. Let's see here. All right. Are you happy with Wink's style of coaching? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he's doing the best with what he has. I mean, remember, we got to think the first 2 games, we didn't have our edge rushers in there. Last week, we didn't have Leo Lyon in there. Our defense has given us a chance to win, okay, especially against the Titans. Kept us in there. We were down only 13-0 at the half. Only gave up 1 touchdown in the second half. Kept us in there against the Carolina. We only gave up 16 points. Kept us in there against the Cowboys. I was a little bummed out. We took the lead 13-6. Saquon took it in. The place was going freaking crazy. The towels were waving. They had the white out. Here we go, baby. And then the Cowboys rattled off, I think, 17 points on their next 3 drives. Very demoralizing. I mean, so all in all, yes, I'm very happy with him. I just we had no hits. Oh, we had 2 hits on Cooper Rush, the Cowboys quarterback. We had no sack. We have 3 sacks all year. I mean, that's the only thing I'm a little disappointed about. A little disappointed. Leo should be back for the Ravens. I hope so. We definitely going to need him against the Ravens because where Lamar Jackson can run. I mean, their offense is, if he needs to take another week off against the Packers, okay, but we really could use him against the Ravens. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're a second half team. But the thing is, you don't want to say, we're down 17-0 at half. You know what? We got this. We're a second half team. We'll put up 24 points and we'll win. You don't want to say that. You know what I mean? It's somewhere along the line, we got to start scoring in the first half. I mean, you got to put something up there. It's tough. I mean, you just can't, because we don't have a phenomenal offense. You just can't be behind the 8 ball every week and just say, we're going to come back and we're going to beat. We got to score some points. The problem is our offensive line is, a sieve. I mean, as far as Daniel Jones drops back to pass and he got half the defenses in the backfield before he even gets set back there. We got wide receivers. I mean, Kenny Golladay out there dropping balls. We're not putting Darius Slayton out there, so we don't really have anybody out there stretching the field. You got David Sutton. Richie James is doing decent, but I mean, you got nobody who scares you out there. You need somebody to scare you out. We don't have that. We got lots of laugh there, playing much better. Hopefully somewhere along we get somebody that can kind of scare you. Because, we got Kadarius Toney, who can't stay healthy. Sterling Shepard can't stay healthy. Wan'Dale Robinson played like the first quarter. That was pretty much about it. Kenny Golladay had a ball, dropped it. Last week. We got work cut out for us. That's for sure. Kafka has to learn to stop playing so cute with Barkley. Yeah, I just get him the ball in space, or maybe try to start running the ball. Maybe in between the tackles and get him going. Right. It's tough. It's tough. Hopefully our offensive line starts getting a little bit better and starts gelling a little bit better. Because I feel sorry for Daniel Jones. Now we have lack of talent at the wide receiver position, and they're not even giving him a chance, to be as productive as he could be, because he's either running for his life or he's getting sacked. Right? I remember one sack he got against the Titans. The guy drilled him from the back, fumbled the ball. Right? Do you think Golladay needs to go? Well, he won't be here next year. Now, the only thing is, the problem is he's got that salary. If we're going to trade him, the team's going to want to, we're going to want to get maybe a 7th rounder in return, maybe a 6th if we're lucky. But one of the team we're trading to is going to need to eat some of that salary. I don't know if they're going to want to do that. So you got a big salary, so it's going to be tough. But he won't be here next year. Absolutely not. They got some dead cap money they'll have to hit. I think it's like $14 million, but they'll save almost $7 million when they let him go next year. So, and they'll just start, because he's not right for the team. And Shane and Dable want to go down. If they're going to go down with the ship, they're going down with their own guys. Kenny Golladay is not one of their guys. He is not somebody they want to build their team around. Not that he's a horrible person or anything. It's just he's not the type of receiver that they want. There we go. Slayton has to get involved this week. Do you think he can get effective? He led the team in I think it was receiving yards his first 2 seasons. It's one of those things. It's because some things you're never going to know. Because when the reporters talk to Dable, what's going on with Slayton? Is he going to get in there, and is he going to? It's a common answer. Oh no, Slayton. I tell you what, he's been. I'm really happy with what he's doing. He's doing everything we ask him. He's coming. He's looking great. But it's the same thing. If there's a problem, you don't know. I don't know why they're not using him more. I really don't. He's somebody who can stretch the field, right? Maybe not scared of crap at it, but he's somebody who can stretch the field. I don't know why he has hardly been in there at all. I don't know if he's in the doghouse or something or not, but why do you got him on the sideline? Put him in there, see what he can do. But the one thing is that, we're starting to run out of receivers. So I think just by default, I think he's going to start getting maybe some more snaps, right? We need to open our offense up to. Yeah, but the thing is that we don't have the talent there. We had Evan Ingram. Remember, when we had Evan, he dropped a lot of balls, but he was a mismatch at tight end. You had somebody you had to account for, because he was a mismatch. Daniel Bellinger's not so much a mismatch. He's a nice guy, a nice receiver, maybe a better blocker than Evan Ingram, but he's not a mismatch. We don't. The talent there, as far as scaring people, is just not there. And if you're going to try to open it up, you need blocking, you need protection, and the Giants don't have that yet. Now, hopefully, the guys are going to start gelling maybe and get a little bit better, get some better protection, possibly, as time goes on. But, I mean, if you can start opening up, I mean, you could use some talent. The Giants are starting to lack the talent because Shepard's not there. Kadarius Toney, Wan'Dale Robinson on the field. Kenny Golladay, you put him on the field, he drops passes, right? The other guys, none of them scare you, right? And we can't pass protect. So it's kind of tough, really, really tough. Then if you're trying to think about putting Golladay or Slayton on the field and throwing it deep to open, stretch the field, which is huge. You want to stretch the field, but you need protection for that. You got Daniel Jones got to stand in the pocket for a couple seconds, let him get down the field, throw it. But if he doesn't have any time to stand in the pocket, can't stretch the field, right? Because then if all you're doing is throwing these dink and dunk passes, now the defense just starts coming in, right? Yeah, go ahead. We'll just walk up to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, they're not throwing it deep. We'll just crowd the line of scrimmage, right, and just take away the short passes, right? What do you think of Sills? Oh, I tell you what, the one thing I like about Sills, he's got a nice rapport going with Daniel Jones. They kind of, if you know what each one's kind of thinking, if you know how he's going to run a certain pattern, that's huge, huge. Is the talent there? Is talent? Sure, absolutely. But as being like a main guy, nope. Now, I mean, if you got a wide receiver number one and, like CeeDee Lamb, and you got another wide receiver, like the Cowboys did. They had Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, right? And then you put David Sills in there. Oh, yeah, I think it would thrive better. Absolutely. But as far as like a number one receiver, no, because he can catch a pass. Sure, absolutely. Can Daniel Jones throw the ball and he catch? Oh, sure, but he's got to get open. I mean, you got to have, some special talent, in the NFL. If you're, he doesn't quite seem to have that where he's going to be really, really effective. I don't think he's ever going to be much more than he is right now, unfortunately. But, but I'll tell you what, I have him on the team anytime. Good quality depth. Guy likes to play football, and him, Daniel Jones, got a good rapport going. Absolutely. But, I mean, if he's like your main guy, we're in trouble. He blew his route Monday and slipped. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. Yep. How do you like? Oh, James. Yeah, he's been. It's the same thing with him. He's good good punt returner. Absolutely. Good, solid wide receiver. But it's the same thing. I mean, if you got Sills and James, if they're like your number one and number two wide receivers, it's tough. It's tough. If James was that good, I'm not trying to disrespect him or nothing. If he was that good, he wouldn't be on his. I don't know how many teams he's been on. Somebody keep him, right? So, I mean, is he horrible? Absolutely not. Am I glad he's on a team? Heck yeah. Is he some good quality depth? Maybe, maybe a third receiver, maybe the fourth receiver, off the side, bring him in. Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like your top two wide receivers are Richie James and David Sills, and you can't pass block, boy. You're in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. So who could we get? We ain't got any money, right? I mean, people keep talking about Odell Beckham Jr., right? But he won't be ready for a little while. But I mean, there's not many guys out there that are going to want to come, and get maybe paid $1 million. I mean, you got somebody coming here, it's going to get paid $1 million, right? You got wide receivers out there making $30 million a year, right? The top of the top of the top, $30 million. Well, we're going to have somebody come in for $1 million. Okay. So how much production do you expect out of them? Right. I mean, I said, maybe, somehow if Odell Beckham Jr., I don't even know if they want him here. I mean, I don't know if he's right for the team. I don't know. He'd sell some tickets. That's for damn sure. Place would be going freaking bananas the first time he runs out of that tunnel at Giant Stadium. If he has his 13 on it, all that, whatever, like that. Oh man, the place would be going freaking crazy. Absolutely. But I don't know if he's going to want to come here. We don't have any money. If we had like maybe 15 or 20 million, yeah, maybe we can get somebody, but yeah. He wants a salary in Bitcoin. Yeah. Should we take him? Well, as I said, that's up to those guys. I don't know if that, because he has some, I don't want to say baggage, but he's got, I don't know, he wants to win. He loves playing here, this, that. I don't know if they're going to want him. Then the same thing too is I don't know what they can offer him. Right. So I don't know if he can come back halfway through the season. I don't know if he's going to take $1 million. I mean, is he going to want to come here for $1 million, maybe $2 million? I mean, we could bring him in here, but I don't know if that's something, we can, then if we sign him for a couple of years, but I don't know if we're going to want to sign for a couple of years. You know what I mean? So it'd be tough. It's just like we might be bringing him in for half a season. We're going to pay him $1 million. Is he going to want that? I don't know. It's a tough call. They're in it's not easy. I don't envy Joe Shane. I don't or Dable at all. What they're going through right now. Absolutely not. Yeah, because Gettleman lives in a good position. Right. How do you think the special teams is doing? Tell you what, that block field goal. I mean, the guy. I don't know who the hell we're blocking. I mean, usually when there's a block, they get, somebody jumps up from the line of scrimmage and they get their paw up, one of the big guys that or something like that, it gets get a hand on it or something like that. This guy came through a hole. I mean, he was in the back. I mean, where the hell are we blocking? And then the lane integrity. Holy cow. I mean, can we go a game without letting a big punt return back? I mean, it's huge, especially when you're playing tight games, one score games, and you let somebody like that, return a punt and all of a sudden, as soon as you tackle them, they're automatically in field goal range. I mean, it's huge. It's if you tackle them where they should be tackled, right? Maybe they don't get those 3 points. I mean, that's huge. I mean, you look at it too. It's like if we didn't have that field goal blocked, say Gano makes that. Okay. Now it's 23-19. If special teams could have tackled the frickin' guy, I think they got a field goal out of that. I think it was. Right. And maybe, tackled them and prevented them from getting, down into the Giants territory, right? Maybe take 3 points off for the Cowboys. Maybe now the score is 20-19. So now when we got the ball, instead of having it to get it down the field, maybe Sills doesn't slip. Maybe we just need a field goal to win. Maybe somehow we pull the game out. Who knows? Did Chip that field goal in Tennessee? How do you think special? Oh, Ximines, yeah. But I mean, but we got to do a better job at punt coverage. I mean, it's horrible, absolutely horrible. I think some of it might have to do with the Scottish Hammer, Jamie Gillen, because sometimes he seems like he maybe outkicks the coverage a little bit. Maybe you want try more, get a little more hang time, and maybe not a little less distance, because that way, if it stays in the air an extra second and you're only kicking it 45 yards instead of 55 yards, well, now if it stays in the air an extra second and it's going 10 less yards, your gunners might be down there, so the guy's got to wave his hand for a fair catch. He fair catches it, they ain't getting no yards, right? That's where the problem comes in. When a guy catches the ball and he takes off. And we got guys like not, coming in and guys running around the outside. I mean, it's like very disappointing. Oh, thank you, dear. Mama, dear. It's been 49 minutes. I haven't shut my mouth off that much in a long time. Ronnie, dear, thank you so much. Thank you. I'll be back again tomorrow. Going to come back with a little more in-depth and detail here with the Giants and the Bears. Sunday at 1:00. I'll have some type of a prediction. Haven't been right too often, but I'm gonna have a prediction for tomorrow night. But I'll tell you what, 1.5 days away from game number 4, and it's upon us. And I said, Ronnie, thank you. Anybody else who spent any time here at all watching me, or anybody's going to spend any time at all watching this replay and all this, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You guys absolutely freaking rock. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.